So yeah, this is a very serious video to make and I'm absolutely terrified that I'm going to mess it up. So just please try and bear with me, okay? So many people shame others who suffer from depression, anxiety, self-harm, paranoia and things like that. Yes, I'm aware they aren't the only mental disorders out there. There are so many more. But these are the ones that I've experienced and feel like I'm allowed to talk about, because I don't want to talk about disorders that I haven't suffered from or that I don't fully understand, because I don't think it's right to do that. One thing that I hate how I need to clarify, but I do, and it's that I'm not making this video for my own personal gain or for attention or for anything like that. I'm making this to talk and to rant about how some people portray mental disorders and to maybe make some of you who suffer from them feel less alone. As I said, I've suffered from this and I know videos similar to this have helped me out before. I will link some in the description if I can remember any helpful ones that have helped me with anything. So check the description in case there's anything down there, because I will try to make this helpful, but I can't promise anything because I'm bad at everything. So I don't want to go into my story too much in this video because I don't want to make this about me, but there are some things I do feel like I do need to mention. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is how a lot of parents seem to react to their kids having mental disorders. It's not always like the movies, sadly, and if your parents do support you and help you and care about you, then I hope you know how lucky you are, because, you know, not everyone gets that. Mine didn't even try to understand, and I have had so many of my friends tell me about how their parents have put them down over it and ridiculed them about it, and it's really kind of sad. I've personally been called mental, pathetic, and my dad and my brother have both made self-harm jokes about it. What's even sadder is that my brother is 11. He's at a very influential age, and by my parents doing this, they're basically telling him that mental disorders are something to laugh about and to make fun of, when they're really not. Awareness is good, like, don't get me wrong, but we should be teaching kids not to judge and to support someone rather than laugh at them. I get that mental disorders are a lot more common now as to when our parents were our age, but it still doesn't mean that they shouldn't try to understand something. Like, I get if you can't understand it, that's fine, but at least try it. Don't just mock someone before attempting to see what they're going through. One thing that I hear people constantly say about mental disorders that really gets on my nerves is, it's all in your head. Yes, it is all in my head. That's the problem. It's in my head and it kind of needs to stop. That's what mental disorders are. They are mental, which means they are in your head. So people saying it's in your head, well, that's just putting up the obvious. That's not, I don't understand. People are always like, oh, well, you should feel lucky, you don't have cancer or you're not dying. Well, some mental disorders do kill you. Yeah, okay, cancer's a very serious thing, but what a lot of people also don't understand is that mental disorders can kill you. So many people die because of mental disorders, and yet a lot of people still don't think they're anything to worry about. It's literally just how you having an illness in your brain rather than having a pain in your foot or something like that. You know, like, just because it's in your head doesn't mean it's any less important. I've been out with my friends a lot and there's been things I can't do, like talk to a certain person or things like that, and they're like, oh, for God's sake, Isabelle, you know, get your shit together, do this, it's not hard. Yes, for me it's very hard. Like, if I could do it, I would. So when I say, please don't make me do this, just please, honestly, I can't do it. I'm not saying it for nothing, it means I can't do it. So if you're with one of your friends and they are like, seriously, don't make me do this, please don't force them to do it. Okay, they're not doing it for a reason. They're not just being stupid. Just don't make them. A lot of people think that forcing people with anxiety to do things will make them feel better and, like, will make them get better, but that's not really how it works. Like, yes, little steps do help, but making someone do something is not going to help them. A lot of the time I can't deal with phone calls, but yet if I really gather up my confidence, I might be able to do it. I'll freak out a bit, but I will cope. But that's not like it all the time. I can only do it when I'm comfortable doing it, or at least slightly comfortable doing it. You know what, I don't even know what half the points I was going to say are. Okay, parents, back to parents. At the end of July I worked in Lidl's for 2 weeks, and in the end I quit because I kept having breakdowns and panic attacks, and I told my family that, and their response is, oh, you're just being lazy, oh, you just clearly don't want the money. No, I physically couldn't do it. It made me feel so much worse, it made me so much unhappier, and the panic attacks led to my mental state and feeling worse. But my parents wouldn't seem to understand that. I didn't quit for no reason. They were paying me good money, like, honestly, the money was great, it was almost like £7 an hour, but I just couldn't do it. And I common misconception is that people who are depressed or can't do things like who have anxiety and stuff are lazy, but that's also not true. Like, yeah, I am lazy half the time, but you know, I admit to being lazy when I'm actually being lazy. Like, if I don't want to go to town because I'm just like can't be bothered, I will admit to it. And so are most other people I know. Calling people lazy because they are depressed and can't get out of bed is not a good thing to do. They're not being lazy, and it really annoys me how people just won't understand that. I don't understand why there's such a big stigma around mental illnesses. I honestly don't. I'm kind of covering all the topics in one rather than talking about them individually. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Obviously parents aren't the only ones who don't understand when they should at least try it, but also friends. I'm lucky to say a lot of my friends do understand because they have been through or are going through the same thing or similar things, or you know, they know people who have. But at the same time, I've had friends who have been really kind of plain horrible about it and not nice at all. I've been called stupid, I've been called a baby, a wimp, I've been told to get over it, and all these kind of things relating to panic attacks. No, if someone has having a panic attack, they can't help it. Do you think I like not being able to breathe and feeling like I'm gonna collapse and just feeling like everything is gonna just stop? Because no, it's not a nice feeling. People don't choose to feel like it. Trust me, people don't want to have panic attacks, okay? So if you don't understand panic attacks and you're around a friend, don't call her names. Like, not understanding things is fine, because unless you've been through something, I don't think you can fully understand it. You can kind of understand it, but you can't fully understand. So, you know, it's okay. If you can't understand what your friend's going through, at least support them. Like, that's the least you can do, is support your friend. Trust me, support does make you feel better. Not sympathy, but support, like helping someone rather than just giving them sympathy, is what they need. And treating them like they're a child is not how you should go about it. But trying to help them, like trying to help with their breathing, you know, maybe breathing with them, I find that really helps. If you're having a panic attack and you're with someone, get them to breathe with you. It sounds really stupid, but like, get them to breathe in and out, because it does help if someone's there. This video was all inspired by this tweet that I saw on Twitter last night, and it just got to me so much. For starters, that is extremely triggering to anyone who may be struggling with stopping self-harming. And you know, it's not funny. I don't get how making fun of mental disorders is funny. Like, how do people get entertainment out of making fun of someone else's pain? Cancer jokes aren't funny, so why are self-harm jokes or suicide jokes funny? Like, they're different things, but you know, they're both serious and they're not funny at all. Don't laugh at them. And if you're with someone who makes a self-harm joke or a joke on any kind of mental disorder, call them out on it. Be like, no, that's wrong, please don't do that, please don't say things like that, because it's so rude and inconsiderate, because you never know who's suffering from what around you. One thing that you need to learn in life is that you don't know what anyone is going through. The person in class sitting next to you could be wanting to die right now. They could be the happiest person alive, or they could be going through absolutely anything. And you can make that one small joke about how people kill themselves and they're stupid and something like that, and that could make her feel so much worse, and she could be thinking, oh my god, I'm stupid, now I deserve to die more. And that is kind of a thought process that does happen. In my media class last year, it was ages ago, but someone made a joke about suicide, and honestly it made me want to do something bad even more. I didn't, you know, you can see I'm fine, I'm here, I'm alive. If I had have been feeling even worse than I was, that one thing could have pushed me off the edge. I wasn't, but you know, that's not the point, because I could have been. And you know, there are people out there who are so close to suicide, and that one thing can just make them do it. So people really need to be more careful with what they say. I just don't know why people won't understand that mental illnesses are real problems that real people are going through. They're not fake, they're not made up. Yes, they're in your head, but they're not stupid, and they do deserve to be treated like proper, genuine illnesses. There's no difference between them. Another thing that I should probably mention is how people say, well, you know, kids are starving in Africa and dying from all these different things, and you're here and you're healthy, you know, you're being very unappreciative. But again, it's not your fault. If you're suffering from mental illness, it's not your fault. There's nothing like you did. Like, depression can be just a chemical imbalance in your brain. You don't necessarily have to have done anything. Just because you self-harm doesn't make you weak. Just because you have paranoia doesn't make you stupid. Just because you have schizophrenia doesn't make you mad or, you know, the kind of person people should stay away from. The world would be such a nicer place if people just took into consideration mental illnesses as real illnesses and just kind of respected people who have them, because at the moment not everyone does. There is a lot of help and support out there for people who do suffer with mental illnesses, but there's not really enough. There's no point in having support if you have a bunch of other people who also shame it, and it's kind of like, well, am I wrong or right to feel like this? And the answer is you're not either wrong and you're not right. You feel like that and that's that. There's nothing you can do about it except try and get you better. I'm really sorry this video didn't go how it probably should have. It was just some things I wanted to rant about. In our message to anyone who does suffer from mental illnesses, you are not alone, okay? Please never feel like you're the only one who feels a certain way, because you're not. If you ever feel like life's not worth living, then talk to a friend. It's hard, and yeah, honestly, a lot of my friends don't ever think it's like a serious thing, they kind of just brush it off. But talk to someone, because there is someone out there who understands. Like, I'm always here. I know I'm not anyone special or anyone interesting, but if any of you are watching this, and you know, you can always know that I'm always here for you to message, and I will always talk to you and help you. It's always easier to talk to someone who does go through it or has been through it, because, you know, it's a lot more helpful when you get a lot more support. But just because someone hasn't doesn't mean they're going to be rude about it. So just talk to someone and your life will be so much better. Get help is another thing, because, you know, getting help is going to help you make better, but don't rely on medication. So many people think that they need medication, like doctor prescribed medication, to make them feel better, but that's not really how it works. Anxiety medication doesn't even help you, it just kind of puts it off. So there are so many like herbal tablets that you can get for anxiety that help ridiculous amounts. So don't think that you need all these heavy tablets, all these side effects, when you don't. Herbal tablets are great. I'm really annoyed that like this video wasn't more helpful. I really am. But, you know, I hope you're all doing well, and, you know, I hope you're all cool, and I hope none of you shame mental illnesses, because if you do, I don't like you. We will never be friends, so just leave. Don't forget, you are loved, okay?